What is going on, guys? Welcome back to Country Bunkers Trains. Hope you've been doing good. I want to start out by saying a very big welcome to all the new subscribers. Over the past month or two, we've had a lot of new folks joining us here on the channel, and I really do appreciate it. I hope you guys have been enjoying the videos and the content here on the channel. I do apologize. I know videos have still been slacking here lately. I've been pretty busy, had a lot going on. But do believe me, there's actually been a lot of stuff happening here in the train room over the past month or two. Quite a lot of stuff, new product, stuff we've been working on, projects and whatnot. I've been trying to do work on all these little various projects and taking pictures and video and hoping to do separate videos on all the stuff that we've been doing. But honestly, it's too much. I don't have enough footage of everything going on, and it's going to take quite a while to do videos on each individual thing. I figured I'd make it easy on myself. We'd put it all together in one big update here in June 2023. The first update I wanted to address was all of our repairs. You know, a little while back we did a video on all our repairs, QC issues, and overall problem children here in the train room. And I have to say, I'm absolutely flattered and humbled by your guys' reaction to that. It seems a lot of you share the same headache and frustrations and took what I was saying to heart. Many of you have been asking me for updates and asking if this engine got fixed or that got fixed or is this fixed. And I wanted to give you guys a quick little overlay of what we've received back so far. We've at least got a couple items. Our first one up, I'm sure you saw in our last video, or saw in our last couple of shorts videos, and this is our biggest MTH offender, and that is the MTH Premier Triplex. That's right, guys, she's finally back. This one had a lot, and I mean a lot, of tiny electrical gremlins hiding under the shell. I really should go hit up the guy that I bought this from and pay him a little visit. But no, poor Mike, our repairman over at Roundhouse South Trains, he got us taken care of, and she's doing damn good. Practically everything under this shell is new, electronic-wise. It's got a new tether, a new harness that receives the tether, practically all new wiring. It's got a new or replacement accessory power board. The smoke units have been rebuilt, and we had to go through and straighten out the rods in the running gear to get her running smooth. But now she's running like a top, runs like a Swiss watch. Just beautiful. Mike, once again, I cannot thank you enough. Next up is our Vision Line Class A. Yeah, that's right. I had to open this one up once again. Luckily, though, I didn't have to send this one out. I was able to repair it here in-house. But the other month, she ended up blowing her front speaker. This one has 3 speakers. It's got 2 speakers in the tender, and then this speaker up front under the boiler. The 2 in the back, one kind of acts, from the sounds of it at least, one kind of acts as the subwoofer. Then you got another speaker for mids, and the speaker up here is for your highs, kind of like a tweeter almost, is the best way that I can describe it. Now, this might have been operator error. The smoke unit for the whistle steam is located right above this speaker. There was a tiny bit of smoke fluid residue on this speaker. So like I say, maybe I heard it with a little bit of smoke fluid going on it. But honestly, I don't think that is the case. You guys know I love smoke fluid and running my smoke units. I've had speakers swimming in smoke fluid. I mean, just dripping and nasty. Of course, I don't try to do that on purpose by any means, but you know what I mean. And I've never had a speaker fail from that before. But apparently the couple drops that got on this one, yeah, that must have took its toll. I mean, you can see it's not heavily saturated or anything. Luckily, Lionel warrantied me and sent me a new speaker, a new replacement. I got it installed, and she's here doing its thing once again. Fingers crossed, we'll see for how long. If you guys are really interested, I did post a couple of pictures on our community page a while back showing the inside of this Class A. If you're interested, go check it out. Pretty cool to see. Our last repair update that we've received back is our Legacy 990 system. Hopefully, and it seems like, third time's the charm. I do got to give Lionel big credit on this. If you guys have been following along, I bought this a couple months back. I bought it used, of course. New to me, but it was a used piece. And within a couple of days, I noticed the brake and boost button was stuck or not working. So I called up Lionel, got a return authorization, and sent it in to them, and they replaced that button. I got the remote back a couple weeks later, and instantly out of the box noticed the bell button was messed up. The bell was constantly on, triggering the bells on all the engines running around. Called up Lionel as soon as I got it back and sent it off to them. And then I received it back a couple of weeks later, just as you see it. And it was working fine. I got about a week and a half out of it. But I noticed I was quickly losing range between the remote and the base. I couldn't be standing on the other side of the room trying to run the trains. They weren't getting any signal or anything like that. It got to the point where the remote was literally sitting in its cradle here in the base, and it still wouldn't receive any signals. It was kind of weird. I don't know what was up with it. Called up Lionel again, sent it out, and here it came back about a week later. And she's working flawlessly, doing its job. Like I say, fingers crossed. Now, like I say, I do give Lionel big credit here. As I mentioned, I purchased it used, and who knows how old the system that I bought was, but even still being used and however old it was, Lionel still warrantied it. It didn't cost me a dime. They paid for all the shipping back and forth, as well as handled all the repairs for free. Many of you were asking me what parts and pieces were they replacing, seeming maybe you were interested and maybe had a similar issue going on with your system. Unfortunately, I really do not know. Lionel does not go deep into telling you what was actually wrong with it when you sent it in. And they're really good at keeping you up to date on where it's at. You know, you get an email once they receive it, you get an email once they're working on it, an email when it's done, and an email when it's being shipped back to you. But as far as the actual repair, they don't delve into a whole lot of information. For instance, the first time I sent it in for the brake boost button, in the email that I got back, they said, yeah, we replaced that button in hardware, and that was it. And then for the bell button, when I sent it back in the second time, I didn't get any info. The only info I got was remote was replaced. So yeah, this is a completely remanufactured or different remote from the one that I sent in. And then the last time, this third time I sent it in, it was the base. They didn't say what was wrong with it. They just said, we replaced the base. So now this is a remanufactured base and remote. A whole new remanufactured system. Pretty cool. I'm not really worried about it. Hey, as long as the thing works and looks as good as it did as when I sent it in, that's all that I care about. I'm sorry I can't be more helpful there, but yeah, they don't really give you a whole lot of info on what was actually wrong with the system. If you are having problems or troubles with your 990 system, I would contact Lionel sooner rather than later. Lionel is sticking true to their word. When they announced the Base 3, they also announced that they would be warrantying and repairing and or replacing these 990 systems as needed. They were going to support and repair them while the remaining parts they have are in stock. But once the stock runs out, that's it. There's not going to be any more parts. So like I say, if you're having any problems or issues, it's absolutely free to you. All you got to do is call them up, tell them what's going on, and ship it out to them. Yeah, it's a couple weeks without the system, but definitely worthwhile as they're no longer making this system anymore. But now, what do you say we go over the good stuff? New product and updates over here on the second layout. These kind of mingle together, so we'll share them together. And this first product I already did share on a community post a little while back, but it's way too cool not to share again here on video. Several weeks back, while paying my local train store a visit, Roundhouse South Trains, Tony had recently got in a collection to put up for sale, and included in that collection was this tub of trees. That's right, this tub of homemade, I believe to be homemade trees. I don't know if these came from a kit like a Scenic Express kit or not. I lean more towards being homemade. But regardless, this tub was packed full of trees, and he was only asking $20. I was like a fly on crap, man. How could you say no to that? You guys know me and trees. I jumped all over it. Got a lot of them installed here on our lake scene, and I think these things look fantastic. The reason I say I think that they're homemade, the tree or twigs, I guess as you should say, is real wood. It's dried wood. It's very fragile, but yeah, it looks like they're real twigs, and then they took flocking material and applied it to them. But yeah, I think they look fantastic. They did a great job sprucing up this lake scene. As you can see in the tub, I still had some skimpier ones left over. I decided the other day to take some and place them up here on top of our mountain or our hill. I was kind of going back and forth on this, on leaving this open or not, but I kind of like how this turned out. It really blends in and helps match with the backdrop. and carries on this open space up here. It does block the view a little bit, but at the same time, I feel like that adds a lot of depth. I'm going to be adding some more up here in the front corner. I got to wait till we do our ground cover and get our trim installed up front. But I think a few more here will really look good. Make the trains look like they're running through a forest kind of ordeal. While picking up those trees, I also picked up our last switch for our yard over here. I was kind of torn on this originally, and I was asking your guys' opinion on if we should add one more siding or if we should leave this space open for some buildings or whatnot. And like I say, I was kind of torn. You guys seemed kind of torn as well. It was kind of a 50-50 mix. People saying we should not put another siding in, it would be too small. And the other half saying, yeah, we should put it in. But after picking up this coal tower from York, I decided, yeah, we needed one last siding. And you'll see why here momentarily. But even with this one last siding installed, we still have some room over here that we can install, maybe some small buildings, or maybe even a loading platform or something like that. So we still have a little bit of space. Along with the switch, I did pick up a bunch of the goofy, smaller size track sections, 5.5 inches, 5 inches, 4 1/4, 4 1/2, 3 1/2, whatever have you. I was trying to get all the sidings to line up together in front of the face of the mountain. All of them came out good, except this second track. For whatever reason, I just can't get it. It's like a 1/4 inch off, but that'll be hidden, and you'll see why here in just a moment. Along with those, I went ahead and picked up all the track bumpers to clip on the ends, stop anything from going off the tracks and crashing into our mountain. I think it turned out quite well. It's mainly being used for rolling stock storage at the moment, but eventually this is mainly going to be all engines in the future. And this brings us to probably our biggest update or new item at the moment. So originally, from the get-go of building this second layout, the plan was to make engine facilities and yard over here. We have a small yard over on the first layout, but I wanted to build a much more realistic yard. A lot of you guys have been asking or saying, we should put in a roundhouse and a turntable. We just plumb do not have the room on this layout for that. A big scale proper roundhouse wouldn't even fit back there, let alone trying to squeeze in a turntable that would fit our big articulateds and whatnot. That's out of the picture. But I did have one structure in mind from the get-go. I believe it's from Altoona Model Works, that new Union Pacific engine shed that they came out with this past year. Absolutely beautiful structure. In fact, I was even calling and talking to them late last year, and I got to see it in person and talk with them at York a couple months back. Again, beautiful structure, but I simply could not swallow the price. I'm sorry, the bare kit was like $1,600 for the absolute bare minimum kit. It wasn't worth $1,600 to me. It wasn't. I don't have Bill Gates money. So, unfortunately, I was a little let down, but I couldn't do it, so we had to find something to substitute it with. So what did we go with? I can definitely tell you it's much, much more budget-friendly. We went with the eBay Special, the O-Scale Process, however you say it, Engine House Kit. This is the eBay Special. I'd honestly have to say, personally, I think this is the best budget-friendly engine house, engine shed, engine facility, whatever you want to call it, kit that you can get currently on the market. There's definitely a couple cheaper ones out there, Menards, the old MTH sheds and Lionel sheds. But personally, they don't look near as good as this one. And this one sports a lot of really cool modern features. It comes with LED lighting all throughout the interior as well as exterior, electrical operating doors that go up and down. It's got a bunch of finer decals for detail, signage and whatnot. Just a really cool kit. This kit is $200 off eBay. I'll try and post a link to it in the description below. But yeah, it's a really cool kit. It comes with everything. All you got to add is paint and glue to put it together. I was a little surprised, although I guess I couldn't be surprised because I wasn't sure exactly what I was getting. But it's not plastic. It's like a fiberboard or press board. And of course, just like any model kit, it comes in these big pieces that you got to break out. It's laser cut with little notches for you to break all the pieces off and put it together. I was, like I say, surprised but not surprised by that, and I can't complain for the price of this kit. The stuff is really sturdy, but as you can see, you get all the lighting. Here's the interior lighting, and then you get all these pop-outs for all the different details. I still got to paint these up. But yeah, like I say, just a really cool kit. I've been working on this kit quite a bit off and on over the past 2 weeks. Now, of course, like I mentioned, this being a kit, you've got to apply all the paints yourself. I mean, you don't have to paint it, but of course, if you want to paint it, you have to. And here's all the products and materials that I'm using. Looking over others' structures on video and pictures and whatnot, I'm kind of taking the little bits of everyone's other structure that they've built, the pieces and parts that I like, and applying it into my own, jiving it together. But anyway, here's the colors we're using for the brickwork. Got Rust-Oleum flat red, kind of an oxide primer color. This gray granite. Dark as night green for the doors. We got this Rust-Oleum textured, what is this? Desert bisque. This is for the cement or concrete trim that goes around the exterior of the building. I haven't shot that yet. And then also for the interior, we got this flat navy blue. Got this satin black, of course. How can you not spray satin black on everything? But this is for the supports on the interior. Got some clear matte. I also broke out my pastels to make up some more weathering powders. And along with that, we've got this cheap acrylic yellow. This is for the safety yellow on certain bits and pieces you'll see here in just a moment. And then this cheap acrylic black for our black washes for some more weathering. But yeah, here's where we're at with it currently. Not too shabby. I'm digging it. I went a little heavy with our weathering powders up top. I might go over it some more with another black wash to kind of blend these rust in a little bit more with the roof. But besides that, yeah, I'm loving it. I love the way the black wash is turning out on the brickwork on the outside. I think it looks excellent. I will say the hardest or most tedious part of this kit has definitely been the windows. My, what a pain in the ass. The windows themselves, they give you these sheets, full sheets of like clear plastic, and it has the lines for the windows etched into them where they need to be cut out. It's just a lot of tedious work with a pair of scissors cutting out each individual window, test fitting it, making sure it works, because each one of these is a different piece, of course. And then on top of that, you get the window moldings, or whatever you want to call this, the covering that goes on the top. So after you get the plastic cut to fit, then you got to take this stuff and glue it onto the window or the plastic, and then you install it all into the building. Like I say, not that it's extremely hard, just very, very tedious. But besides that, it's been a very easy kit to do. The majority of the work was the windows and, of course, masking for painting and whatnot. But we still have a long way to go. We've got some other parts painted up. We still got some more stuff to do. Let me go ahead and get the roof off so you can see on the inside. Here's a quick look at the interior. You can see where I'm going with the black roof supports and the safety yellow. Obviously, we still have these side pieces, the runners to install. I got the safety yellow on those as well. I think that turned out really, really good. But yeah, just overall a really cool kit. Definitely worth the $200. I think this has much more bang for the buck versus, $1,600 for a bare kit. But like I say, we still have a long ways to go. We got to install the interior lighting. I do have the exterior lighting installed. There's little lamps that stick out of these sockets and whatnot. Just a really cool kit overall. Eventually, this is where the building is going to get placed. I think it looks extremely good next to that coaling tower. I might have to do some weathering to that coal tower now. But yeah, I'm loving it. I think it looks great. Obviously, like I say, we have a bunch of work on the building itself still to do. And we have a ton of work in this area to do before it can get placed. But for now, I'm taking a break. I'm just enjoying it for what it is. I worked on it hot and heavy last week, and I needed a little bit of a break from it the last couple of days. But we'll get back to it here eventually. I did reach out to one of my favorite guys here on YouTube, somebody I really look up to, Norm, over at Norm's Trains. I'm sure many of you guys know who that is. He's extremely well known for his fine detail work that he does on his own layouts, as well as his really awesome 3D printing. Norm was extremely kind and sent me some of his own 3D printing for our engine shed. He's got, bench grinders, presses, drill presses, tables, shelving. He sent me the works. I can't wait to get these painted up and installed inside the shed as well. This is just going to be the cherry on top. And how nice of him to send me this stuff. I just reached out and asked, and he didn't even want any money. Norm, I can't thank you enough. I greatly appreciate it. These are going to be some awesome accessories inside of our engine house. And that brings us to our last new item or project that we've been working on the past week or so. I'm sure you guys have seen these in the community posts, but if you remember in our Your Call video, we picked up this Atlas O FEC 89-foot flat car that came out of Barry's collection. And as I said in that video, I wanted to add some bulldozers for the load for it. And obviously, of course, that's what I did. And didn't this come out spectacular? Check that out. These things are just plain badass. Well, I got this one done. And there was one more Atlas O 89-foot flat car, a TTX one in Barry's collection that Tony still had. I said I had to have another one. So I went ahead and picked that car up as well as some more of these bulldozers to make another flat car with the dozers. These things look amazing. Tony recently started carrying these in his shop about a month or two back, and I've been drooling all over them ever since. They're these kind of off-brand cats. What is it, Hulna? These have been out for quite a while, but they've been purchased by a new company, IMEX, I think he was telling me. And you can't shake a stick at the price of these. These 150 scale bulldozers usually command a hefty price. They usually go for $50 to $80. I've seen them all the way up to $150 to $200. They're usually very, very expensive. But since IMEX has recently purchased this, I think they're trying to make a splash in the waters of the community. And these ones are being offered between like $28 to $50 depending on what model you get. Like I say, you just can't shake a stick at the price compared to other models. These things look fantastic. Yeah, obviously, it's not name brand cat, but I don't care. They look great. The most expensive one I got, and unfortunately we cannot run on the car, is, what is this, a D11 dozer? I'm not a dozer guy. Sorry, guys. But this big monstrous dozer, oh, this thing is just so damn cool. I was really hoping to run this on the car with the others, but it's just simply way too wide. It doesn't clear one of my lines. It's either hitting a bridge or hitting our Pensy signal. It's not going to work. So I got to pick up one more small dozer. Right now I just got this truck placed here as a work truck till we get another dozer to place on here to go with the rest. This D11 though, it's going to be static display somewhere on the layout. It's just way too cool not to use. Either we'll make a construction scene somewhere, or I'm thinking we have the Vanishing Point Challenger. If you diehards remember back in the day, the movie Vanishing Point with the white 70 Challenger, I'm fairly certain these were the dozers that Kowalski ran into. We've got the Challenger. I might set up that scene. That might be pretty cool. But regardless, I think they're awesome. Right now, they're just hot glued to the cars. I might come back and swap that out with super glue in the future. I did go out and find some chains from the local Michael's craft store, as you guys suggested in that community post. These chains look great. I even picked up, what are these called? These bead landings to glue to the car to attach the chains to, because there's not really any attaching points on this car other than on the front corners. But I need to find some hooks or something. I was trying to do some custom work with staples, and it wasn't working out. The staples are too hard to bend, and it was ripping the clips that I was gluing onto the car. I got to find a real small jeweler's clip or necklace clip to use on these chains. Super, super big pain in the ass. But once we find a chain link to attach it to the hooks on the cars, we'll be golden. But yeah, guys, what do you think? Like I say, a lot of stuff and projects going on here in the train room the past several weeks. It might not look like it, but I've been doing quite a bit. If you guys have any input or ideas for the hooks on these chains, or any input or ideas for these scenes that we're working on, please make sure to drop me a line or leave me a comment below. I always look forward to getting feedback from you guys, and a lot of your guys' suggestions actually end up happening here on the layouts. I get a big kick out of that. I enjoy it. But yeah, along with all of that, I do have one more bit of news to share with you guys. This past weekend, we had our first O-Gauge model train get-together here at my house, here in the train room. Man, what a bunch of fun that was. It was the first time having a bunch of train roadies out here besides me. But yeah, we had some really good friends out, as well as a new friend we just recently met. He happens to be another O-Gauge YouTuber, and just so happens to be another Zach located here in Florida. That's right, Zach over at Joker's Trains came and joined us and brought a couple goodies to run of his own. Some really cool stuff. I actually ended up meeting Zach over at Roundhouse South Trains a couple weeks back. We hit it off, and of course, he was more than welcome to come hang out, which he did. He brought his Vision Line Centipedes to run and a K-Line Hudson that's been upgraded. Just some real beautiful pieces. And Zach, you're really twisting my arm for getting some centipedes. Now, I know Zach was a little uncomfortable and out of his element, him being such a big Lionel fanboy coming to hang out with us elitist, the MTH crowd. But, I'm trying to help him. I'm trying to show him the error of his ways. One day we'll get there. I'm just kidding, man. It's all in good fun. We had an absolute blast. I love it all. Along with Zach, another really cool dude came and hung out with us. Trevor and his family. Trevor, I really appreciate you guys coming out. I hope you had just as much fun as I did. And yeah, I hope you're enjoying this video. It was really cool getting to see you and getting to see you run your trains around. But like I say, just a whole lot of fun. Unfortunately, I was slacking with getting photos and footage. The adult beverages were flying, and I was enjoying running trains and watching other people run trains, so I slacked a little bit. Luckily, others that came sent me some footage, video and photos and whatnot, and I'm going to share that with you here momentarily. But yeah, we had all kinds of cool stuff. Zach brought his Vision Line Centipedes. Mike brought his MTH weed sprayer set. I've never seen one of them in person before. Now I got to find one. That was super cool. Tony brought several engines from the shop to test out. You'll be seeing them here in the shop shortly. Had to make sure they worked before getting put on the shelves. And Ron brought a really cool Santa Fe Pacific Lionel with some beautiful K-Line cars. But anyway, here, I'll quit blabbering. Here, just check them right out.
I want to videotape the amount of alcohol that's out here.
We'll take our pictures of this.
Holy Toledo. Wow. Let's see how that looks in the morning. No, I'm putting that on Facebook. Do you?
Like I said, just an absolute blast. And that's what this is all about, having fun. Having fun running trains, meeting up with friends, meeting new friends. I enjoyed myself immensely and look forward to doing it again. Hopefully next time we can get a few more folks out. Yeah, I'm looking at you, Tom. Hopefully you can join us for the next go-around. But anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm sorry for rambling on for so long. If you did enjoy this video, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. It would be much appreciated. Until next time, guys, as always, my name is Zach, and this is Country Bunkers Trains. Y'all take care. I'll see you the next go-round.